So if I'm a recruiter and I have 50 jobs to fill, your goal is to be one of those 50 jobs. How do I know you exist? An amazing resume or someone I'm familiar with. How do I become familiar with you? By you becoming an officer, you becoming active in the club, but also you attending an event like Meet the Firms. Now, with Meet the Firms, everyone goes, well, when should I go? I'm a freshman, I'm a sophomore, I'm a junior. You should start early. In other words, don't wait. Some of you go, well, I don't graduate for 3 years. You know what? You want to go now. That way, if you make a mistake, you have time to recover. Right? I go up to the firm. Hi, I'm Philipp. Hey, I heard you guys got sued. Right? Open mouth, insert foot. Right? But if I graduate in 6 months, I don't have time to recover. But if I don't graduate for 2-3 years, by the time I'm in a grad, they wouldn't even remember me. Right? Next year, I'll come in with a fake mustache. No, you've never seen me before, you know. But the point is, go early. They always say if you want to get good at something, practice it. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Communication skills are vital. Meeting people is vital, right? All of that schmoozing is vital in order to get a job. They just did a study. They said people are more afraid of doing speeches than they are of death. I'd rather do a speech than die. Death's a little more permanent. However, that's what they said. Same thing with communication. The key is to get out there and practice this. So the key is you need to go to this event early. You need to go, 3 weeks from Friday? Today's the first, 16 days. 2 weeks from Friday. 2 weeks from Friday. You need to go to this event. What are the firms, what are the employers looking for? They're looking for people who have poise, who have confidence. Because you want to come off and give them a calm, confident message. Because when you're out there working in public accounting, there are times where there's slow times, you're working 35, 40 hours a week. There's also something called busy season. How many of you have friends that work in public? And what do they work, like 30, 40 hours a week? Sometimes 50, 60, 70. There's times where there's busy season. So as a recruiter, what am I looking for? I'm looking for someone who will blend in well with my firm. So it's not necessarily a 4.0 or a 2.0, but it's someone who is well balanced, who has all those skills that come together. When I was working at Deloitte, there were times when I was in downtown LA at the client's conference room, overlooking the whole city. And I'm sitting there ticking and tying and footing and crossfooting and go, I made it. You know? Even though I was just at the client's. Other times, you're sitting in whatever room is available. You're sitting in the coffee room at a table this big with the four of you. And you're ticking and tying and footing and crossfooting. And you're working with the manager, the senior, the supervisor, and yourself. And so what they're looking for is not that person who's necessarily 4.0, but that person who can blend well with the other staff. People who have a little bit of a personality, good communication skills, people that are decent to hang out with because you're working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. There's a lot of work time, great education, great experience. All the stuff I learned in public accounting I use now in my own business. But the key is that's what you want to show to these employers. That's what they're looking for. You don't want to come off as arrogant or cocky. Hey, I'm Raj. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, you'd be lucky to get me, you know? It's not like that. You want to be very sincere, right? I mean, I did that same kind of thing. You want to be interested and interesting. You want to make sure you listen to what they're saying. You want to think ahead about different questions to talk about, which I'll cover in a few minutes. But the key is you want to realize that you need to make a good first impression. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. What does that mean? This first impression is vital, especially at this event, especially at Meet the Firms. Again, they're looking for things like how you carry yourself, how you communicate. As I'll talk about later, what you talk about is not as important as the rapport. If you're talking to that recruiter and they're like, wow, I could have talked to this person for several minutes, that's good, right? They're sitting there going, well, it's interesting, and so on. That's not so good. So again, the key is to have a good conversation, good communication, be comfortable within yourself as far as also how you're communicating with that recruiter. The key is study hard, don't get discouraged. Woo, little Michael Jackson walk. Come on down. I've been teaching almost 20 years after I left Deloitte & Touche. I've done this for many, many years, helped thousands and thousands of people accomplish their goal, which is to get through the exam.